What's up, horror fam?
You know what time it is.
And today we're talking creatures of the night. Let's get into this. All right, we are into this.
We are into it.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? And welcome to your favorite podcast, the Horror Chronicles podcast.
The Horror Chronicles.
That's right, guys. And we're going to do some business to start this popping off.
Just
you guys know who this fucker is over here.
Just a little bit. You know who I am.
This guy's fucking name's JT, guys.
What's up?
I know there's a certain platform that doesn't want us cussing in the first 5 minutes of our show, but fuck them.
You know who you are, Tube. It's all right. We're good.
Sorry, guys.
So, as you guys can see, or not see, or maybe hear,
Yes.
Breezy is not here with us again tonight. She's got some stuff going on at home, which is fine. You know, she does her thing, and we do our thing, and you know,
Private
it's
stuff.
cool. We're going to carry on the show without her.
Yes, we will carry on.
She is coming back. I'm warning you right now.
We did not kick her out. She will be back.
Yeah, she didn't quit our asses because we pissed her off or anything either.
It's
I
all
don't
good.
know, maybe. But
She's got some stuff
good.
going on.
No. Yeah.
She'll handle it. Anyways, guys.
She's got her business to handle.
Yeah.
We handle our business. She handles hers.
Speaking of handling our business, guys, if you are just listening to this on, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, or whatever, and you're not following us on Facebook, go over there and check it out, guys. We're very easy to find on Facebook. Just type in the Horror Chronicles podcast, and there we are.
And there we are.
And
Make
there
sure you
have
smash that like button.
Smash it. Yeah, guys, like, share, and tell everybody what's up with it. Start a conversation with us. Post something on the page, and we are fairly. Once we see somebody post something, we usually get a whole. We say we like it, love it, or talk. If you got a comment.
We like to have conversations with you guys. And if you guys aren't watching us on YouTube, go over to YouTube. Just type in the Horror Chronicles podcast. Pop right up. You'll see our channel. Go in there, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell.
Ring that bell.
Ring my bell.
Oh, hell's bells. Hell's bells. That sounds better for us.
Yeah, well, that way you get notified every time we put out a video, and we put out a video every week.
Yep. So there you go, guys. And
there you
also on YouTube, in the future, we are going to be putting up a lot of extra content. Videos of us, our travels, going to conventions, doing investigations, what have you, playing in cemeteries.
Yeah, which unfortunately we were supposed to be going to a convention next weekend. The Haunted America conference was going on in Alton, Illinois, and it got canceled.
Canceled.
So now our big goal is that damn Troy Taylor. We got to get him on the show.
We're speaking to you, Troy. We are speaking to you.
Got to get him on the show, man. He's got so much cool shit to talk about. We really need him on here. So Troy, if you're listening, call me.
Call me.
Yes.
So guys, come over to our Facebook page and check us out. Go over to YouTube, check us out. You can also check us out where, JT?
Every Friday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on cradiumradio.com.
Cradiumradio.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
And if you're looking for some really cool merch, you can pick up our merch on teepublic.com. That's TEEPUBLIC.com. Just type in Horror Chronicles and all our merch will pop right up.
Got this shirt here, guys.
Yes, sir. It's so sexy.
Sexy.
Because my face is on his right tit.
On my nip. Right on me nip.
Anyway. All right,
anyways,
so that's
guys,
the business. Now
that's
we're
the
going to
business.
jump into some creepiness.
We're going to some creepy shit. Some cool stuff that we had an idea for. Actually, one of Breezy's ideas. So shout out to her.
And then she didn't show up.
Shout out to her.
Poor Breezy.
Shout out to her. So guys, we're going to talk about some, what you would say, creatures of the night or in the night. Stuff that you usually see when the darkness comes.
Yeah.
And the lights are low. So yeah, guys, this was a really cool idea because we kind of talked a little bit about being scared of the dark, or
Yes.
it's not really being scared of the dark, it's being scared of what's in the dark.
Right, what you can't see. There are a lot of people that have that fear. It's funny. I remember myself as a kid. I don't know that I was so much afraid of the dark as I was what was going to grab me from underneath my bed.
Oh, yeah.
So every night I would go over and I'd flip the light switch off, and then I would run and jump as far as I could to land in the bed because I was so afraid of something grabbing me from underneath my bed.
Krista used to do it. My wife, Krista, she used to do that all the fucking time.
And it's really weird. This will tell you how a person's mind works. I still, at my age, I'm just going to tell you, I'm 48 years old. At my age, I still occasionally think about that. And so, like, I can't sleep in a bed with my foot hanging off the edge.
Yeah.
It's just weird. I know it's a weird thing. That's me.
I never really had a phobia of the dark or a fear of the dark.
Fear of the dark.
Oh, I fucking love that song.
Little Maiden.
I wish we could play that shit, but everyone wants to freaking get all butthurt if you play their shit.
I'll just fucking sing it to them. Hell yeah.
But I've never had that fear myself. However, a lot of people have, and there's a lot of things that people have seen in the dark.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about some of those creatures and stuff.
So while you're talking about that, let's get into some really weird stuff. So
I guess.
well, it's dark.
It's time to get weird.
Did you see? It's dark in the studio. So a lot of the things that people claim to see are typically in the dark. Usually, if you live in a haunted house, which I grew up in one, typically things happen at nighttime. Occasionally you'll hear about stories during the day, but most of it happens after the sun goes down.
Well, what's like a good example of that is of the Tommyknockers. You know what a Tommyknocker is, correct? Mm-hmm. So a Tommyknocker is like a spirit that usually comes out between the hours of 11 and 3 a.m., 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. And it's the
witching hour.
They were originally spirits of coal miners that were killed in the coal mines.
Nice.
That's where Tommyknockers are coming from.
Okay.
And people would, hear their spirits and stuff at those specific time at nighttime.
I gotcha.
Which is, kind of weird, but
right.
I guess if that's, and who knows, I don't want to go too far down this hole. But I'm just going to say it real quick that
he wants to go down the hole. He wants to.
The long dark hole.
and I might let him too.
Inside
That's
joke.
not what I was talking about.
That's an inside joke for you.
Okay, so carry on.
Some of you listening to that will get it.
I'm going to scoot my chair over.
There's a couple. Why are you scooting it towards me?
Well, because I kind of like you.
Oh, shit. Anyways.
No wonder nobody listens to this shit.
But yeah, guys. So it's kind of weird that it would be a specific timing on that stuff. But what I was going to say is, without getting too deep into it, is that your body and your mind produces certain chemicals during the time when you're supposed to be going to recharging your body, basically.
Right.
So that's who knows if that. The thing is that do we know if that's all connected? People say it's either this or it's that. Maybe it's everything all in one.
And it may be. There's a big theory out there about your brain. Kind of make stuff up in the dark.
Your eyes are constantly trying to...
Right, your eyes are trying to adjust, and they're trying to make... What do they call that? It's
pixelation.
It. That's exactly it. They are trying to make something out of the darkness that isn't really there.
Your eyes are made to see.
What happens is as your brain is trying to pixelize that image, it's also running through all the scenarios of what could go wrong.
Yeah, because they say that you can't, your mind cannot make up a face that you've never seen.
No, and that's a big thing about dreaming. Whenever you're dreaming, if you ever see a face in your dream that is not made up, you had to have seen that face at some point in your life, because your mind does not have the ability to create a human face.
Yep.
It has to remember it.
Exactly. And that's what's cool too about, they call it the Fibonacci sequence. Your body, I know, I'm a smart motherfucker,
yeah,
son.
Dude. Fuck yeah. Dude, I am thoroughly impressed right now.
Well, that's why you can clearly tell when someone has had a surgery done to their face. Even if it's something small. Because your body, no matter what, even if you have a big old nose that's too big, you think, for your face, that is your nose. And if you change that, people can tell. Even if I don't really know you, I can look at you and be like, someone's had some work done. Because your body, your mind, and your eyes are constantly, there's a sequence to everyone's face. There's the Fibonacci sequence to everything,
right.
And, that's your mind and your eyes can see that. And what it's trying to do in the dark, when we talked about, is it's trying to make sense of what it's seeing.
Exactly.
Of what's going on.
Exactly.
And sometimes there just so happens to be things
Something weird
in the fucking dark.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about those weird things
right about
tonight.
now. So what do you want? Let's just bring up a couple that people may not have heard of.
A lot of these that I have on this list are things that people have heard of. Sure. Well, I can't say surely, but most of you people have probably heard of Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
The Baba Yaga was a deformed and ferocious-looking old, like, woman or hag or whatever that flies around in the dark and preys on young people. Baba Yaga is like really old, goes back thousands of years.
Isn't that what they call John Wick?
No, John Wick they call, oh my fucking God,
the Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman. And then there's Banshees.
Oh yeah, man.
Everybody's heard of Banshees. If you hear the Banshees wail, you're probably not going to survive the night. There's just a whole slew of things that come out at night that are like deep ingrained in these ancient cultures that we still talk about and see today. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's got to be something going on there, guys.
And they say it's like in your DNA.
Yes.
That's why you're afraid of the dark, is because at one point in time you had no homes around you, so you had to be scared of the dark because things came out of the dark to hunt and kill you. They said, I can't remember what the name of the doctor or whatever it was, but they did this thing on mice. And
they're always doing shit on mice.
Well, it's crazy. This is really crazy. They would make forgive me if some of you know about this and I'm saying it wrong. They would shock the feet of mice, correct? Okay? When they were going to feed them certain things. They would shock their feet and they would get that shock. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it was something like those mice would have children, and when that food was brought, they would, even though they weren't getting shocked,
they would think they were going to get shocked.
They were ready for the shock. Because your body, it goes through your DNA, I guess. And it's also...
it's like a learned inheritance.
Yes,
or not inheritance.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, though. And it's kind of... Where I'm kind of go with this is like, yes, in the dark, when they were old, when further generations back, they had to worry about real things coming out of the dark. Like leopards and hyenas and lions and all kinds of other stuff. Now, that being said, people say, well, that's why they're really scared, because of that, learned behavior. But also, there's other things people had seen in the dark. So there was things that you would consider real, lions, tigers, etc.
And bears, oh my.
Oh, yes. But also, there are things that some people don't consider real that were really there.
Yes.
That people were scared of.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that people dismiss that were actually really happening.
And like I said, guys, it's kind of...
By the way, our government does that a lot.
Sorry for that.
Boom. Sorry.
But anyways, something I kind of want to talk about.
Do it. Let's talk about it.
Okay, there's this cool thing I read about, and I hope I'm saying it right. It's actually funny because the name is Asswang.
Asswang? I think I watched that porn one time.
I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's Aswang. Asswang is actually from Filipino folklore.
It's probably a swang.
A swang?
I don't know.
Asswang.
Asswang sounds a lot better to me.
But it's Filipino folklore, guys. And an Asswang is a shape-shifting evil entity. It's part vampire, part ghoul, part witch. And it
Damn.
Yes, and it preyed on pregnant women and children.
Hell yes. Oh, sorry.
So, this thing, it was a shapeshifter, so it could be of all. I mean, it could be anything, but it mainly it was a very evil entity, and it would attack some of the weakest things like children and pregnant women and stuff like that.
Dude, that's funny because that's in my list. They call them skinwalkers.
Yeah, there you go. And see, and this is and there's a whole thing about Skinwalker Ranch and
yes,
all that,
And we really want to do an episode on Skinwalker Ranch, but there is so much information there that it's going to be really hard for us to tone that down to 45 minutes to an hour show.
Yeah, it's going to be a longer show. But anyways, I thought this is really cool because it's pretty prevalent in Filipino culture,
Mm-hmm.
And the stories I read about it were it's creepy as all hell, and they were telling us one story of a guy who was at his home, and he grew up and learned his legend and stuff, and supposedly it would come from the rooftops, and then it would come into your house or whatever. Well, he heard something coming in the house and up on the rooftop, so he, got his gun out and started firing.
Up on the rooftop, click, click, click.
Yeah,
well,
that's what happened. Click, click, click. He ended up firing at, he thought it was an Asswing. Come to find out it was a 16-year-old daughter, and he killed her on accident.
Oh.
Because she was sneaking in.
What the fuck was his 16-year-old daughter doing on the roof?
She was sneaking back in because she had snuck out to go to a party.
Bitch. Oh.
Well, she's dead, so.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
But yeah, is there anything in particular, ones you thought were interesting that you didn't really know about?
Of course, there's a lot of things that I found were interesting. And some of these we've touched on in the past, but I'm going to bring them up here. One of the big ones that everybody has heard of, Bloody Mary.
Oh, yeah.
Bloody Mary is a creature of the night. She only comes around in the dark. She preys on people. She is what is considered a ghostly apparition in a mirror that either shows the person how they will or who they will marry or how they will die. So a lot of people, if you're into urban legends, you've probably heard of the Bloody Mary legend of going in the bathroom, shut the door, turn all the lights off. It's got to be pitch black. You say Bloody Mary's name 3 times in the mirror, and when you turn the light on, she's supposed to be standing right behind you. So
and shit your pants.
Yeah. Well,
Good thing you're in the
probably
bathroom.
would. I probably would. And the other one is the typical. We use this phrase on so many different things. It's insane how many, from Halloween to just everything that goes bump in the night. The boogeyman. The boogeyman is a creature of the night. He only comes around in the dark. He usually comes from a closet. He preys on small children.
Are you talking about priests?
No, but that was a good movie. So, he, pretty much convinces children to behave without, even thinking, about it, about what they're doing or whatever. He causes children to do bad things and, yeah. The boogeyman.
The boogeyman.
The boogeyman's pretty prevalent in pop culture. Everybody's heard of the boogeyman. You call everything the boogeyman. Even if you see some crazed robber or some strange shape outside your bedroom window, you're going to call him the boogeyman.
It's the boogeyman.
It's the boogeyman.
Yeah, that's what they call John Wick.
Not to be confused with the Booger Man.
I'm the Booger Man.
Yeah, you
So,
probably are.
I kind of want to talk about this.
Do
I
it.
got some info on it, and it was pretty cool to me. And I'm going to talk about the Windigo.
Oh, the Windigo.
So the Windigo, guys, this is a Native American folklore. And, like, by definition, it's crazy. I'll read what they say the definition of the Wendigo is a cannibalistic creature of Algonquin mythology, which is a Native American mythology, which had a lot of different Native Americans, like the Cree and stuff like that. We're all different. We're part of it. It was in the Northeast primarily. Huge section of the Northeast was all part of that nation. But it was believed to have been a lost hunter forced by hunger to eat the flesh, and thereafter he would become a crazed man-eating ogre roaming the forest, who eats
Kind of like Shrek.
who eats during the coldest times. Now, that's the modern day, definition of what a Wendigo is. But like, if you look into the native history, they say it's like literally the incarnation of winter,
Okay.
the embodiment of hunger, and the personification of and the
And
personification of selfishness. So we'll go into a little bit of history on it. The Wendigo first came about in the village of Pomiak in South Carolina region in 1585. Now, their definition of what a Wendigo will look like was very tall, skinny creature with teeth that had been worn down and sharpened from eating flesh and bones of humans. Had a heart made of ice, and that's why they came out during the coldest of the cold times. And they were once humans, but then they turned into, the Wendigo. Now, the ways that you can become a Wendigo, is you can either by eating human flesh or dreaming of the Wendigo.
oh,
And, it's kind of crazy because if you look into the folklore and everything, like I said, this says it's the incarnation of winter. So a lot of these hunters would go out to hunt to try to feed the, tribes. And whether or not they've seen, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, how do we know if they've seen something actually, or is it their mind? We don't know. Or it could all be real, and it's all be real.
Right.
So they say that they seen this and they seen that, and then sometimes if they went out in like a group to hunt, they would have to eat the other people in the group to survive and try to make it back.
Me.
Literally. And what's kind of cool is like in the 15th century, that's how about far as it's dated back, the 15th century. And they compared it a lot to a werewolf. Because you get the hunger for human flesh,
right.
Although a big difference is clearly the wolf part of it, and the original Wendigos were thought to be like, no matter how much they ate, they always look emaciated. So they always look super thin and brittle, but they weren't. They were super strong, very, very tall. You actually see a Wendigo in the remake of Pet Sematary. He sees a Wendigo when he's up there.
I gotcha. Okay. All right.
So,
yeah.
And,
which is a great movie, by the way.
But,
I don't care who argues with me on that.
I argue all day
movie.
long. But I thought that was pretty cool. The Wendigo thing is really, really cool because of the, the Native American background with it. It's in a lot of different Native American folklore. Different styles of Wendigos. You see Wendigos in a lot of things, a lot of movies.
Yeah. There's actually a movie called Windigo.
Yep. So. And it's a really cool story if you look into it. I mean, I could go down the whole history of it, but I don't have all day. And plus, I literally watched 5 different videos and stuff on it, and it's just a really cool history thing.
Yeah.
And like I said, the cool thing about it too is do we know really? Did they see this thing? And they say that it could possess you. And you could turn in. That's how you turn into the Wendigo.
Okay.
It's and that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like, say you're in a group of 4 and you're on a hunting party, and it's cold and you guys lose your way. You're gonna,
you're gonna die.
You're gonna have to eat somebody. Someone's gonna get ate.
It's a fucking downer party.
You know what I'm saying? And that story is fucking crazy.
Oh yeah.
I listened to I can't remember which one what podcast I was listening to. I think it was the last podcast on the left. And they did a whole thing about it. It was, wow.
Yeah,
crazy.
the Donner Party is pretty intense.
Pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
But no, that is the Wendigo is a really cool story, guys. If you want to check out some stuff that's ton of history to learn about it, a lot of info out there on it, and there's quite a few movies that you can watch too that involve it. And it's something that you can just, really delve into and go down that rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
I sure in hell did.
For sure.
What about you? Is there any weird ones on that list you got there?
I kind of ran into a few things today. One of them that I want to talk about is this Bookavok. Bookavok is a creature that is seen near lakes or pools of water, basically. Basically what they claim is this thing shows up and it looks like a horse, and it's in the water, and what it does is it lures children to it, and what happens is as the children play with it, they eventually want to ride it, and it's very sweet and very loving and very, just you want to play with it. But after the children get on its back and ride it for a while,
it drags them down.
It sucks them into its flesh and drags them down into the water and drowns them.
Now, I may be making this up in my head.
Do it.
But isn't that what they say about the manatee?
The manatee. Or
dolphins.
The big one. The kraken.
The kraken. Well, no, they
which
say
is on my list too.
they say that in real life that manatees, that sailors. That's kind of like where the lure of mermaids came from.
Yeah, Davy Jones' locker.
But that sailors would jump in with the manatees, but then the manatees would literally try to drown them.
Right, and that's where the perception of mermaids and mermen and sirens, as they call them, came from. Yeah,
That's pretty cool, man.
Oh yeah.
I got a whole fucking mind full of useless shit.
Yeah, you do. My list has got a bunch of movie stuff on it too.
Oh,
of course.
Shit.
Dracula. You can't talk about Creatures of the Night without talking about Dracula. Listen to them, the children of the night. What music they make. You gotta love Dracula. No matter who you are, that vampiric lore, we've talked about it numerous times. It's just fascinating. It truly is fascinating. And people asked us a lot, if you were ever to be turned into something supernatural, be it a ghost, a witch, a werewolf, a vampire, blah, 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 what would you want to be? I'm going to tell you right now, I want to fucking be a vampire. I want to live forever. I don't care if I got to live on the blood of human beings. I'm going to do it.
So what you're saying is you got a couple dead bodies in your basement.
No. But what I really hate is when you're cleaning out your freezer and you find people you don't recognize. Dracula's a big one, big creature of the night. Another one that came up when I was looking at creatures of the night, and we kind of talked about this a little bit while ago with the Bloody Mary, Candyman. Candyman. We had to say it 3 times. Anyway, Candyman's one of those characters, demonic, immortal serial killer that's going to come after you, if you say his name. Oh, it was 5 times.
5 times.
5 times in the mirror. Where's Bloody Mary? It was only 3.
See, man.
So Bloody Mary, it's kind of funny. It's easier to get in Bloody Mary's pants than it is Candyman's. But anyway,
well, it kind of makes me mad just thinking about that too, because I was really looking forward to the Candyman part 2, basically.
I was too, and I think what I was really looking forward to in it was the change that they were doing. They were going a completely different
I love
route,
the way they were going,
and I like their thought pattern on that.
And sucks. I was looking forward to that.
It's just really, really crazy. Another creature of the night, which we could talk about this, and we need to have an entire episode on this. I'm telling you right now, Jack the Ripper.
We
could talk for hours about Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper was considered a creature of the night because of his infamous reign over Whitechapel and just all the different things, that he was doing and the way he was doing them and the surgical precision he was disembodying these bodies,
Crazy.
Just insane. And we really, like I say, we really need to do a whole episode on him. But yeah, I mean,
there's a ton.
How much can you say about Jack the Ripper? I mean,
there's a ton of serial killers that we were going to get into.
There are, but Jack the Ripper is one of those that's like way up on a pedestal.
Well, as far as serial killers in America, like America's not that old. We're only 300 years old.
No, we're not.
So I mean,
we're not.
We don't have that history, at least not yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything over in England and that way over there is super old. That's kind of like I would love to get into like the things like in Ireland.
Yes.
In Scotland, not just because I'm Irish, but because the history there is just crazy, man.
We really need to have another thing is that Greyfriars Crickyard. Mm-hmm. We really need to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that place is extremely active.
Yeah.
Extremely active. You know, and then there's all kinds of others, you know, as you go down the list, I mean, you know, the Kraken, like we mentioned a while ago.
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra was on the list. Chupacabra, it's funny you say that. We did a fairly lengthy episode on Chupacabra, and Chupacabra is one of those night stalker kind of beasts that, you know, is out killing cattle. Very creepy story. If you guys haven't listened to that episode, it was really cool. The three of us get in depth with that. Very cool story. But then I run across right in the middle of my list. What's it say right there, Ryan?
Monster under the bed.
Monster under the bed. A lot of kids have a problem with that, and some adults do too. I know myself. I've never been grabbed by anything under my bed, but I've seen enough and I've read enough that I know it can happen.
Dude,
so it still kind of freaks me out. And I'm going to add a little bit to the story, not only myself, but my sister. My sister is the same way. She cannot sleep in a bed where her feet are not covered up or against something. She can't have her foot hanging off the bed, and neither can I. You know, it's not something that happened to us or anything. It's just one of those freaky things.
Well, you know something that gets me in movies that gives me that creepy feeling, because it doesn't really scare me, but it gives me that real creepy ass feeling. Is like in The Conjuring. There's a bunch of other movies like it. Annabelle, one of the Annabelles. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's whenever you're like the part where the girl's laying in the bed and the blankets slowly get pulled off.
Pulled off of her, yeah.
And then the quick foot grab.
Yeah.
And then let go.
Yeah.
That you know.
That will fuck a person up.
Fuck, man.
You'd be scarred for life.
Crazy.
I tell you, talking about The Conjuring, the part in The Conjuring that screwed me up was the witch on top of the arm.
Yeah, dude.
That was pretty terrifying.
And she jumps off of it?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was crazy.
Pretty terrifying.
That movie was so good. Gosh, I can't talk about that damn thing enough.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah,
there's so many things to talk about here. It just... we could spend all night talking about these different entities that only seem to appear at night. And for the longest time, there was one at the back of my list that I'm just going to mention real quick here, were zombies.
God, I love zombies.
Zombies, if you look back at George Romero's Night of the Living Dead,
fucking love
zombies were typically these people that, of course, had come back from the dead, and they were shambling zombies, mindless. They were just... But they only really came out at night. Well, I say that. Now that I say that, there is the one scene in the beginning where they're coming for you, Barbara.
Well, the thing that's crazy about, and now just kind of my thought process did this, and they kind of get it right in The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that got to me about George Romero's version of the Night of the Living Dead, which I fucking love.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That movie still to this day, like, if I want a good fucking atmospheric zombie movie.
Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong.
That's a fucking go-to. But what I was going to say is, those zombies, you're right. Those zombies were super slow, kind of just melodic, However, they accumulated. The herd.
They did.
They accumulated. There was more, and there was more, and there was more. So that's one thing they got right in, The Walking Dead, is that they went with the herd. You get the herd mentality, that herd of zombies, And that's what was really scary about them, overcoming you.
Oh, yeah.
The mass amount, the weight. That's coming at you.
It was so claustrophobic because you knew you couldn't get away. You can't fight them all off.
Exactly. So, like, that's what got a lot of people. And then again, you get into the rage zombies, which are super cool, creepy, freaking, just, 28 days later, 28 weeks later,
Dude.
World War Z.
Yeah.
You know,
If you have not watched it yet, you really need to watch The Train to Busan.
yes, I watched it. I did watch it finally.
That movie,
Great
even though
movie.
it's a foreign film and you have to read all the dialogue in it, fucking great movie.
Have you seen the trailer for part 2?
I have. I cannot wait for the second part of that. I put off watching that movie for a long time because I typically don't like to read movies while I'm watching them.
Yes, because you're missing shit.
Because, well, and I'm kind of a slow reader, so a lot of times it's like, shit, I missed something. I got to rewind.
Yeah.
But that movie was so good.
Well, see, what's cool about what I did, I watched it, but I watched it and it was translated.
Oh, you translated it into English.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
right on.
I didn't have to do all that. I just kind
Yeah. The only other movie that I can think of that's a foreign film that I thoroughly enjoyed and I had to read it was a film called Veronica. And it was about possession from a Ouija board. A really good movie. If you haven't seen that, you need to check it out.
I have not seen that, but I
Yeah,
did.
it's pretty cool.
I did just recently, probably within the last 2 weeks, watch Train to Busan.
Yeah, the great movie.
That's a great
movie.
film.
If you want a good zombie flick, you can't go wrong with that movie. I know that it will turn a lot of people off saying that it's a foreign film. I mean, it's a Korean movie, I think.
Yeah, you can get a
But like Ryan said, you can get it translated.
yes.
Great movie. It really was a really good film.
Yeah,
I mean, it was well made. It wasn't,
I've always been a zombie head, man. So
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
zombie movies.
Yeah.
Like I just watched yesterday. I watched Dawn of the Dead, the remake.
Yeah. It was funny. Somebody had put a post up on Facebook the other day about pick a horror movie and replace one word with one word in the title with fart. So I did Night of the Living Fart.
That's how it is in my house.
Yeah. So
Everyone's competing.
all right. So real quick, I want to go into one other one that you can't talk about the night without talking about this creature, and I'm talking about the full moon loving werewolf.
Have we? Did we do?
We did a big episode on
That's what I
werewolves.
thought, man.
We really did. Werewolves, were shape-shifting, transforming human men or women into a beast that preys on other humans. And you just can't have a werewolf in folklore. You can't have a werewolf during the day because it is the full moon that causes the rage in them
man.
to transform.
Now I want to go home and watch Silver Bullet. I love that movie.
Did you ever watch that movie Late Phases?
What is it?
Late Phases.
Huh.
It's a fairly new movie, but it's a
Werewolf movie?
werewolf transformation kind of. It's different. It's really different, but it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool film.
Yeah, the last werewolf movie I watched was Teen Wolf 2.
Teen Wolf 2.
That ain't no joke either.
There's no horror in that movie.
No, but it's yeah.
Oh,
What's his name? Jason Bateman plays him, right?
yeah.
I love Jason Bateman.
The first one was Michael J. Fox.
yes,
Yep.
but in the part 2, he's
In part 2, it's
his
Jason
cousin.
Bateman. Jason Bateman is a great actor.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And that is a fun movie to watch. It really is.
Yeah, it's a good
It really
watch.
is.
It's a good watch.
So,
A lot of boobs.
a lot of boobies.
Everybody,
the
you just
boobies.
gotta love 80s, man.
Oh, yeah.
I've been trying to.
People walk in and I'm watching an 80s movie. They're like, what are you watching, porn?
Yeah, it was funny.
Oh, well, no.
Somebody posted up that meme too, and it made so much sense. That one, it's like me watching horror movies when I'm by myself, and it shows like the gore and everything. And
Yeah,
then when
yeah.
someone walks in the room, it's like nothing but boobs and
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
That's usually-
we love 80s horror.
That's
man.
usually how it goes,
is the
man.
best. It is.
I will say that, dude. The fucking 80s, they killed it with the movies, man.
They also killed it with fucking music too. Some of the best music was in the 80s.
Fuck, dude. lot of good. Yeah, I mean the '80s was a great time for a lot of shit, dude.
I'm glad I grew up in the '80s.
See, I didn't grow up in the '80s. I was born in the '80s, so some of the best shit came out of the '80s.
Fucking youngin.
One of the most awesomest things in the world came out in the '80s.
Yeah, you.
Hey,
You son
that's right, everybody. So yeah, guys. I mean, that's
There's
just
so many different options for creatures of the night. I mean,
yeah, dude. You can just go on for days about certain things, but I really would suggest you guys check out the Windigo though, because there's a lot of information on it and some cool stories and movies, all kinds of stuff. And everyone knows about vampires, really, and we know how awesome they are.
Yeah.
We know how awesome werewolves are.
Oh yeah.
But some things you don't really hear much about, like the
oh my God, 30 Days a Night. All of that happened in the dark.
Fuck yeah, that's a great movie too, dude.
It is.
That's a great vampire flick. I was I'm
surprised they haven't done like something else with that.
Well, they did a part 2, and it actually wasn't that bad. It was not that bad.
I guess I didn't see that.
They did a part 2.
Did they really?
Yes, they did.
30 Days a Night too?
Yep.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
Damn, what kind of horror guy am I?
And it's actually not that bad. It's funny because there's a part I think it's in the beginning when it's the same girl from the other one, right? So she gets out and she's trying to warn the world about what's going on.
Okay.
So she does these.
Old fucking Josh Hartnett, is he still?
No, he's deader than hell.
Yeah, that's what I'm just wondering if he came back.
No, what happens in this, which is what's cool in this one, is like she's going to these colleges and these places saying, look, they're trying to cover up.
That's what we need is a fucking vampire in college.
Yeah. Don't get me started.
Oh,
Anyways,
vampire in Brooklyn.
Oh, that's a good one. But no, what's cool about this one is she's talking to these people about how they did a cover-up of what happened in Alaska.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is not what happened. I was there. And she's saying, I know they're real. I know that. She's like, and as a matter of fact, I bet some of them are here now.
Yeah.
She's like, please stand up and I won't, if you're, I'm going to count to 3 or something like that. And then she has these big-ass UV lights all fucking over the place.
Nice.
And she turned these UV lights on and fucking there's like 3 or 4 of them that fucking burst off in the fucking.
Nice.
And everyone's like, oh, that was awesome. Thought it was fake, But anyway, she ends up hooking up with these other fucking vampire hunters and it's a good movie.
Dude, I need to check that out. I didn't know they did a
You should definitely watch it. It's a good one, man. Definitely
That's
worth the
fucking
watch.
cool.
But yeah, guys, a lot of stuff with Creatures of the Night.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely,
there's just so much you could do.
There's so many out there. So, hey, leave us a comment. What's your favorite creature of the night?
Yes, who's your favorite creature of the night? So yeah, guys, we're going to end this one. We love you, as you already know.
For sure.
Even though we're creeps.
We love talking about this stuff, but I don't know that we would do it so consistently if it weren't for so many people out there listening to us. So we appreciate all the support.
Yeah, guys. And,
Definitely.
I was kind of telling JT this earlier, it's not about the quantity of people that you have following you. It's the quality of people that you have following
absolutely.
you. I would rather have one conversation with one of you guys and know you're a legit horror fan, legit
fuck the rest of you.
Yeah.
No.
A legit paranormal fan, legit, just a real person having real stories and real conversations. Over 1,000 worthless conversations with people who are trying to promote their shit or do all this other bullshit. I like talking to my real horror fan.
And believe us, we're all into promotion. We like to promote ourselves, and if you guys want to come on and promote your show, we're all for that.
Well, that's not.
We just want to have a good conversation with people about horror.
Yeah, and
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I probably came off like an asshole as usual.
Yeah, well, that's because you are.
What I was saying, what I meant by that is that you get a lot of people who are just fake. And our horror fam, the people who follow us, they're real. They're legit.
Yes.
They throw some shit out there that maybe we ain't even fucking.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm like, holy shit, man! I never heard of that.
We need to check into that.
Our last live fucking.
There was a lot of people
did.
throwing stuff at us that we were like, wow.
Hadn't
even thought about that.
And that's what's cool. We get to talk to some real people. So our horror fam,
we love that.
Yeah, our horror fam is legit and real. And guys, come on, don't be afraid. If you're listening to this, why don't you give us a call?
Yeah, definitely. Get a hold of us on Facebook. I mean, if you want to be on the air, we'll put you on the air. And don't forget, by the time you guys listen to this, the following, we're going to do it on Saturday. Mm-hmm. We're going to do it on Saturday this week. We're going to do a live show. We do a Facebook live show the last Saturday of every month. Mm-hmm. Get on there. Talk to us, man. Throw us some shit that we've never heard of. We would love that.
Yep, and if you got some crazy shit going on, we'll talk about it, man.
Some cool stories.
We'll try
some hauntings in your home, or your hauntings in a buddy's home, or hauntings in a sister's, cousin's, uncle's, father's, brother's home.
Outhouse.
We don't care.
Yeah,
we
guys.
Want to hear about it.
We just want to have a good conversation with you. And also, if you got an issue going on, you've got a haunting or something, or you got something you want to, hey, I don't know if I want to watch this movie or not. I've heard this or that. We'll give you our best.
We'll give you our review on it.
Our review on it.
We turned a guy on to a movie just last week. We did a review of the movie Feast. Well, I say review. We sat and talked about the movie Feast. Great movie, fun watch. Really turned this guy onto it, and he watched it and absolutely loved it.
Dude, you gotta watch part 2 and 3 of that.
Well, I watched part 2 the next day. Part 2, the one thing about part 2 is, forgive me, that midget had a really big dick. Jesus.
I told you, dude.
He's running around, that thing's just fucking flying.
I told you that fucking movie.
I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That movie is
Turn that on. My wife's like, why isn't your... Oh, no, never mind. Never mind, honey. That's Hollywood special effects.
It adds 10 pounds. All right, guys. We got to get the fuck off here.
Yeah,
we're getting a little crazy.
We're going to get in trouble.
Anyways, guys, we love you, horror fam. You guys know that. We're going to keep putting stuff out because that's what we do. And if you're listening to this episode, this Saturday, we're doing a live show.
Facebook Live. I think we're going to try that around 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, guys.
Central
Time. Come check us out. And as always, until next time,
keep it creepy.